The critics' choice is Timothée Chalamet.
And lastly, I'll just say thank you to my partner of 3 years. Thank you for our foundation. I love you. I couldn't do this without you.
The room went quiet the moment Timothée Chalamet stepped forward, his expression far more serious than fans had ever seen. No red carpet charm, no playful smile, just a pause that felt heavy with meaning. In an industry built on carefully managed images, this announcement cut straight through the illusion. Whispers spread instantly, timelines erupted, and speculation turned to shock within minutes. So, what could push Hollywood's golden star to reveal something this unexpected? And why now, when everything seemed perfectly aligned for him? Heartfelt tears on stage. The atmosphere in the Critics' Choice Awards venue shifted instantly the moment Timothée Chalamet's name was announced as Best Actor. The usually poised and composed star, known for his quiet intensity both on and off the screen, stepped onto the stage with a visible wave of emotion. His eyes glistened with unshed tears, and for a brief moment, the entire room seemed to hold its breath. It wasn't just an award he was receiving, it was a culmination of years of dedication, sacrifice, and artistic risk. Timothée's win for his role as Marty Mauser in Marty Supreme was remarkable not only for his performance, but also for the formidable competition he overcame. In a category filled with Hollywood heavyweights like Leonardo DiCaprio, whose presence alone commands respect, and Ethan Hawke, celebrated for decades of transformative performances, many expected a predictable outcome. Yet, when Chalamet's name echoed through the auditorium, the reaction was immediate and electric. Gasps, applause, and murmurs rippled through the audience as if the air itself had been charged with shock. It was a victory that sent a subtle tremor through the entertainment world, an unmistakable reminder that sometimes talent and passion defy expectation. Every step Timothée took toward the microphone seemed deliberate yet fragile, like someone carrying a treasure too precious to hold lightly. Cameras tracked him closely, capturing the intensity of the moment, the subtle catch in his breath, the slight quiver of his lips, and the way his hands trembled ever so slightly as he reached for the podium. Each frame told a story of vulnerability, of a young actor navigating the pinnacle of success while still staying profoundly human. As he adjusted the microphone, the audience waited, sensing that what was about to unfold might go beyond the standard acceptance speech. Timothée paused for a heartbeat, scanning the crowd with a gaze that conveyed gratitude, humility, and something deeper, a personal connection that words alone could not fully capture. In that fleeting moment, it was clear that this stage was no longer just a place of awards and accolades. It had become a platform for revelation, for an emotion so raw that it transcended Hollywood glamour. At just 30 years old, the French-American actor has already built a career defined by daring choices and unforgettable performances. Yet, tonight, it wasn't the technical mastery of his craft that captivated everyone. It was the authenticity of the moment, the vulnerability, the unspoken stories behind the role of Marty Mauser, and the sheer weight of triumph combined to make this a scene that would be replayed endlessly, both in social feeds and in the hearts of fans worldwide. What started as a simple awards announcement had transformed into something far greater. A moment of human truth, an emotional reveal that no one in that room or beyond would ever forget. Timothée stepped onto the stage, fighting back tears, as he was announced the winner of the Best Actor award. But what would his acceptance speech hold? Would it be the usual, expected speech, or something entirely different that would shock everyone in the room? Now, let's dive into the live confession. A heart on display. Almost the instant Timothée Chalamet took hold of the microphone, the energy in the room shifted. What began as a standard acceptance speech for Best Actor quickly transformed into something far more personal, raw, and unexpected. The usually private, reserved star, known for keeping his personal life firmly out of the public eye, did something no one saw coming. He turned his words directly to Kylie Jenner, his partner of 3 years. The cameras captured the moment in intimate detail, the slight tremor in his hands, the subtle catch in his breath, the way his eyes seemed to search for her in the audience, seeking a connection that only they could share. Thank you to my partner for 3 incredible years. I love you. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, he said, each word heavy with meaning and sincerity. His voice trembled, carrying the raw weight of emotion, a mix of vulnerability, gratitude, and triumph. For an actor accustomed to channeling feelings on screen, this was real life spilling into the spotlight, unfiltered, unscripted, and deeply moving, leaving everyone watching with hearts racing and eyes misted with awe. The room, initially filled with polite applause for the award, went utterly silent as the weight of Timothée's words sank in. Fans watching around the globe were equally stunned. Here stood Hollywood's intensely private, almost mysterious star, openly declaring his love for the woman he had quietly cherished for years. It wasn't a passing mention or a casual thank you. It was a raw, heartfelt confession, a bold declaration of devotion delivered live before hundreds of industry peers and millions of viewers, leaving everyone witnessing it breathless with awe. The power of the moment lay not just in the words themselves, but in the context. Chalamet has long been careful to separate his personal and professional life. Interviews rarely touch on his romantic life, and social media glimpses of his relationships are few and far between. For him to break that barrier on one of the industry's most public, high-profile stages made the declaration feel seismic. Fans and commentators alike were left breathless, replaying the clip over and over, dissecting the trembling sincerity of his voice and the glance he cast toward Kylie. It was more than sweet. It was shocking, intimate, and deeply human. In a world of carefully curated celebrity moments, Timothée Chalamet had given something rare, a real glimpse into his heart, a spontaneous, vulnerable, and unforgettable acknowledgement of love that no one anticipated. For that brief, shining moment, the Critics' Choice Awards were no longer just about accolades. They were about honesty, connection, and the undeniable emotional impact of a man willing to show the world the depth of his feelings. Timothée confessed his love to his partner, revealing that they've been together for 3 years. But is that love truly reciprocated? Does she feel the same way? Now, let's unravel Kylie's reaction. Caught on camera. As Timothée Chalamet's voice trembled with emotion, the cameras in the Critics' Choice Awards venue slowly shifted focus, and all eyes fell on Kylie Jenner. Sitting just a few rows away from the stage, the mom of 2, who had only moments before been cheering and clapping for her partner, seemed momentarily frozen. Then, almost instinctively, she leaned slightly forward and silently mouthed the words, "I love you." The simple gesture, quiet yet profoundly intimate, spoke volumes. It was a tender acknowledgement that transcended the usual glitz and glamour of Hollywood award shows. A deeply personal moment shared between 2 people in love, captured for the world to see. The cameras zoomed in on Kylie Jenner, capturing a moment that felt intimate and unguarded. Her eyes shimmered with emotion, a subtle widening betraying her surprise and awe. Resting her hands gently under her chin, fingers interlaced, she radiated both anticipation and tenderness, as if holding back a wave of feelings she rarely shows in public. The soft smile tugging at her lips only added to the quiet intensity of the moment. For viewers at home, this wasn't just a celebrity reaction. It was a rare glimpse into a private world usually hidden from the spotlight. The brief kiss amplified the intimacy of the moment the couple had shared earlier at their table. Though fleeting, the kiss added layers of tenderness and authenticity, creating a visual narrative that perfectly complemented Timothée's heartfelt words. Every movement, glance, and expression painted a picture of a couple deeply connected, fully present in a moment that was theirs alone, even while the eyes of Hollywood and millions of fans watched. Within seconds of the exchange, social media erupted. Clips of Kylie silently mouthing, "I love you," and Timothée's emotional speech began circulating across platforms, instantly trending on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans expressed amazement at the rare public vulnerability displayed by one of Hollywood's most private young stars. Comments poured in, describing the moment as genuinely touching, unexpectedly emotional, and one of the most heartfelt scenes at any award show in years. Reaction videos and memes spread like wildfire, with viewers replaying the footage repeatedly to catch every fleeting detail. The tiny quiver of Timothée's lips, the barely there tear in Kylie's eye, the shared intimacy that felt both spontaneous and raw. It was a moment that defied the usual expectations of celebrity appearances. Award shows are often a carefully choreographed mix of glamour, smiles, and rehearsed gratitude. Yet this exchange cut through all of that. For a brief but unforgettable period, the Critics' Choice Awards transformed into a stage not just for accolades, but for love, authenticity, and human connection. Fans and viewers were reminded that behind the glittering facade of fame, there are real people capable of real emotion. And in that instant, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner gave the world a rare, unforgettable glimpse into theirs. The reciprocation of love between Kylie and Timothée, along with their earlier kiss, shows that the affection is far from one-sided. But how did their private romance begin? Was the award the reason for the public display of emotion? Or have they truly been together for years? Let's find out. The secret romance. The whispers and speculation about Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner's relationship first began circulating in 2023, when the pair were spotted together at the Jean-Paul Gaultier fashion show in Paris. The sighting immediately caught the attention of fans and media alike. Here were two of Hollywood's most private figures. One, a rising film icon whose every move is dissected by the press, and the other, a business mogul and media sensation, herself no stranger to headlines, seen together in a public setting. The combination of style, star power, and undeniable chemistry sparked instant curiosity. Were they simply friends, or was something more intimate quietly unfolding? At the time, Kylie Jenner had just stepped away from her highly publicized on-again, off-again relationship with rapper Travis Scott, with whom she shares her two children, daughter Stormi, soon to turn 8 in February, and son Air, turning 4. The timing added a layer of intrigue to the sighting, as fans speculated whether this was a chance encounter, a new beginning, or the start of a private romance carefully hidden from prying eyes. Both Kylie and Timothée have always approached their personal lives with deliberate discretion. Unlike many of their peers, who often use social media to announce their relationships, this couple cultivated a sense of mystery, leaving fans to piece together clues from public appearances, interviews, and the occasional subtle social media hint. Even as recently as November, Timothée maintained his privacy in a Vogue interview, refusing to comment on Kylie or their relationship. For someone who is often so expressive on screen and in interviews about his craft, His careful restraint regarding his personal life only added to the suspense. This cautious approach has helped the couple protect the intimacy of their relationship, allowing their connection to flourish away from the constant glare of public scrutiny. All of this context makes Timothée's public declaration at the 2026 Critics' Choice Awards tonight feel all the more significant. After years of keeping their romance under wraps, the actor's emotional acknowledgement of Kylie on stage was not just a personal confession. It was a moment that shattered expectations. Fans who had been piecing together hints, watching for subtle signs in photos, interviews, and fashion events, were now witnessing something real, raw, and undeniable. It was as if the carefully maintained veil of privacy had lifted, revealing the true depth of a relationship that had quietly grown over time. What makes this moment unforgettable is the contrast between their past discretion and the heartfelt vulnerability displayed tonight. The private whispers of 2023 became a public emotional revelation, leaving audiences around the world not only shocked, but deeply moved by the intensity of the love finally put on display. The romance between Kylie and Timothée dates back 3 years, as Timothée himself revealed upon receiving the award. But what made this award-winning moment possible? Now, let's unravel how Timothée Chalamet's relentless dedication to Marty Supreme made his emotional confession unforgettable. Sweat, sacrifice, and stunning triumph. Behind the tearful, heartfelt confession on stage was a performance that had tested Timothée Chalamet like never before. In Marty Supreme, he took on the challenging role of Marty Mauser, a professional table tennis player determined to claim the 1952 World Championship. At first glance, table tennis might seem like a simple sport, but embodying a character with such precision, skill, and relentless drive demanded years of preparation, rigorous physical training, and total mental focus. Every movement, swing, and reaction had to feel natural, polished, and authentic. Because for audiences to believe in Marty Mauser's journey, they needed to see the passion, discipline, and heartbreak behind every serve. Timothée didn't just learn the motions of the sport. He immersed himself completely in the life of his character. From early morning practice sessions to long hours perfecting timing and reflexes, he pushed his body and mind to the limits. Beyond the physical demands, he had to internalize the emotional weight of a man chasing a lifelong dream. The pressure of competition, the loneliness of personal sacrifices, and the constant tension of knowing that a single mistake could derail everything. Every gesture, every glance, every subtle twitch was meant to convey the internal struggles and triumphs of a driven athlete. In interviews, Timothée described the process as more than preparation. It was a full commitment to Marty's spirit. "It's a movie about the pursuit of a dream," he explained. "I'm leaving it on the field, trying to get this out in the biggest way possible, in the spirit of Marty Mauser." Those words reveal the depth of dedication required not just to portray a character convincingly, but to fully inhabit the life of someone whose ambition is all-consuming. The performance demanded vulnerability, endurance, and a willingness to pour his very self into the role. This extreme devotion to craft is what made Timothée's acceptance speech at the Critics' Choice Awards resonate so profoundly. The audience was not just witnessing a successful actor giving thanks. They were seeing the culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. The tears, the tremble in his voice, and the raw emotion directed toward Kylie Jenner on stage were all amplified by the weight of his journey as Marty Mauser. Each accolade he received was earned through sweat, discipline, and an unrelenting passion for storytelling. By combining the intensity of his performance with a deeply personal public declaration of love, Timothée created a moment that was both cinematic and real, a seamless blend of professional achievement and personal vulnerability. For viewers, it wasn't just an awards speech, it was the emotional payoff of a performance built on devotion, sacrifice, and heart. The role Timothée played as Marty Mauser in Marty Supreme made the award possible, setting the stage for his shocking confession. But how did Timothée reach this point in his career? Has he won this award before, or was he only nominated in the past? Let's uncover the details. From rising star to award-winning actor, Timothée Chalamet's Critics' Choice Award win was far more than just another trophy to add to his ever-growing collection. It was a moment that truly captured his artistic growth and personal evolution. For fans, it marked his fourth Critics' Choice nomination, highlighting not only his consistent talent, but also his fearless dedication to challenging roles. Each nomination, each performance, has been a step on the path that led to this unforgettable triumph. His earlier nods included A Complete Unknown, 2025, where he explored the vulnerability of a man wrestling with identity and purpose. Beautiful Boy, 2019, which showcased his ability to navigate intense emotional terrain as a young man struggling with addiction and family ties. And the breakthrough Call Me By Your Name, 2018, a role that revealed his capacity for nuance, subtlety, and heartfelt performance at the very start of his career. Each of these roles, distinct in story and challenge, was a stepping stone in a path that led him to this moment of triumph. What stands out in Chalamet's journey is the fearlessness and depth he brings to every character he portrays. He does not shy away from complex roles, nor does he settle for surface-level performances. Instead, he dives in fully, embodying the fears, dreams, and contradictions of each person he plays. This dedication has consistently pushed him beyond the ordinary, earning critical acclaim and the admiration of peers in an industry known for its high stakes and relentless scrutiny. Yet, tonight's Critics' Choice win went beyond professional recognition. It became a public acknowledgement of the support and love that fuels him. As he stepped up to the microphone, tears glistening in his eyes, it wasn't just the culmination of years of hard work on films like Marty Supreme that made the moment remarkable. It was the way he dedicated it to his partner, Kylie Jenner, breaking his usual privacy barrier in front of a global audience. For someone who has long guarded his personal life, this act of openness amplified the significance of the award, transforming it from a career milestone into a deeply personal triumph. The applause, the camera angles that captured Kylie mouthing, "I love you," from the audience, and the flood of social media reactions all combined to highlight something that transcends awards shows: the interconnection between professional success and personal fulfillment. Timothée's win reminded viewers that even in the world of glittering lights and cinematic grandeur, human connections, love, support, and shared joy can transform a moment of professional victory into a memory that resonates on a profoundly personal level. Ultimately, this Critics' Choice win serves as a testament to Timothée Chalamet's artistic courage, emotional honesty, and personal authenticity. It is not merely a mark of recognition from the industry, it is a celebration of a young man who has grown in the spotlight, mastered his craft, and found the courage to honor those who have quietly walked alongside him through every step of his journey. This was more than a career highlight. It was an unforgettable statement of heart, talent, and love. So, what do you make of Timothée's shocking revelation? Can their love endure now that it has been made public? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.